As of September 2025, 156 of the 193 UN member states now recognize the State of Palestine, a significant diplomatic shift bolstered by recent acknowledgements from European nations including France, Belgium, and the UK during the UN General Assembly. This growing recognition, proponents claim, offers Palestine enhanced international legal standing, providing access to treaties and institutions like the International Criminal Court. However, detractors argue these diplomatic moves have yet to translate into substantive change on the ground and may complicate future diplomatic dynamics. Indeed, the humanitarian situation across the Gaza Strip remains critical. Confirmed reports detail severe shortages, infrastructure collapse, and ongoing suffering for the population, with minimal immediate relief. Despite the international diplomatic milestones, claims of immediate humanitarian improvements directly resulting from increased state recognition have not been substantiated. This highlights a stark disconnect between global political shifts and the daily realities for Gazans. While some speculate these recognitions could propel renewed peace talks, others caution they might provoke further regional tensions. We will continue to monitor how these dual dynamics evolve. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. New York City. During the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025, the U.S. Secret Service disrupted what it claims was a sophisticated and well-funded telecom network operating within the New York City metro area. This operation uncovered an infrastructure reportedly spanning over 5 sites, including abandoned apartments, containing approximately 300 SIM servers and more than 100,000 SIM cards. U.S. authorities stated this network possessed the capacity to send tens of millions of text messages per minute and launch distributed denial-of-service attacks, capable of disabling cell towers and blocking emergency communications across the city. The threat was identified during investigations into telephonic threats targeting high-ranking U.S. officials, coinciding with a period of heightened vulnerability during the UN Assembly. While no arrests have been publicly announced and the precise motives remain unclear, there has been speculation regarding potential foreign government involvement. Some initial claims, though unconfirmed by U.S. authorities, have pointed to China. This incident highlights an evolving security threat, emphasizing the vulnerability of critical urban communication networks to what are often invisible infrastructure attacks. If foreign state actor involvement were to be confirmed, it would signal heightened geopolitical risks in cyber-infrastructure sabotage, underscoring the urgent need for increased vigilance and cooperation between federal agencies and telecom providers, especially during high-profile international gatherings. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Copenhagen, Denmark. Recent days have seen critical aviation infrastructure in Northern Europe face significant disruption. Multiple large drones were confirmed sighted hovering for hours over Copenhagen Airport in late September, prompting its temporary closure. Similar drone activity led to the shutdown of Oslo Airport in Norway, adding to heightened security concerns across the continent. These incidents unfold against a backdrop of increased European airspace tensions. European nations have been on high alert following what they describe as repeated incursions by Russian aircraft over NATO member states' territories, including Estonia, Poland, and Romania. Denmark's Prime Minister characterized the Copenhagen drone activity as the most serious attack on national infrastructure. The Prime Minister suggested potential Russian involvement, though it's important to note that no direct evidence has been publicly confirmed to support these claims. There are also unverified reports suggesting coordination between these drone sightings and recent Russian military airspace activities. In response, NATO states it will strengthen defense measures and claims it will increase cooperation with Ukraine, which employs cost-effective anti-air drone warfare technology. Polish officials, for their part, have issued stern warnings to Russia against future airspace violations. These drone incidents represent a new dimension of aviation security threats, merging state-level geopolitical tension with emerging drone technology. The possibility of state-backed operations indicates escalating hybrid conflict tactics. monitoring NATO's defense adaptations, intelligence sharing, and the effectiveness of emerging anti-drone systems, particularly those developed by Ukraine, will be critical. Without rapid improvements in countermeasures, future incidents could further disrupt vital infrastructure. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Manila, Philippines. In a significant development for international justice, former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested on March 11, 2025, following an international criminal court warrant. He has since been transferred to The Hague to face trial, marking a historic moment as the first Asian leader to face the ICC and reportedly the quickest surrender to such charges. The International Criminal Court claims it has formally charged Mr. Duterte with crimes against humanity. These charges are linked to his controversial anti-drug campaign, which allegedly involved extrajudicial killings during his tenure as both mayor of Davao City and later as president. The court's charges specifically implicate him as an indirect co-perpetrator in at least 78 killings carried out by police and alleged death squads. Domestically, the scale of the drug war's impact remains contentious. While the Philippine government estimates over 6,000 deaths occurred during the campaign, human rights organizations claim the true toll is significantly higher. Meanwhile, Mr. Duterte's legal team has raised concerns about his fitness for trial, citing health issues, although these claims remain unverified. This development sets an important precedent for accountability for former heads of state facing alleged human rights abuses. It will be crucial to observe how the trial proceeds, particularly given ongoing political tensions in the Philippines between the Duterte and Marcos families, and how the ICC addresses claims regarding Mr. Duterte's health and the evidence presented. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Los Angeles, California, USA. The late-night landscape has seen swift developments, as Jimmy Kimmel Live, owned by Disney's ABC, has resumed airing this week. This follows a brief suspension after a controversial monologue by Kimmel concerning conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Disney initially suspended the show, describing Kimmel's comments as ill-timed and insensitive, aiming, they stated, to de-escalate tensions during a sensitive national moment. This move came amidst significant pressure. Major broadcast groups like Nexstar Media and Sinclair Broadcast Group had demanded or enacted preemption of Kimmel's show on their ABC affiliates, citing concerns over perceived offensive content. However, the suspension itself sparked a different wave of criticism. After less than a week and following what Disney confirms were extensive internal discussions involving CEO Bob Iger, the network reversed its decision. This reinstatement occurred amid significant backlash from fans, celebrities, and former leadership, many of whom accused regulatory intimidation and censorship. Reports, though unconfirmed by Disney, claimed substantial financial losses in subscriber cancellations attributed to the initial suspension. Separately, some sources also alleged FCC Chair Brendan Carr pressured broadcasters to take action against Kimmel, though this remains framed as a regulatory warning without formal sanction. Despite Kimmel's return, the polarization persists. Sinclair Broadcast Group, for instance, continues to boycott airing the show on its ABC affiliates. This entire incident highlights the complex interplay between broadcasters, talent, affiliate owners, and potential regulatory influences, illustrating the ongoing challenges of content moderation, free speech debates, and financial risks within today's politically charged media environment. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Coventry, United Kingdom luxury automaker Jaguar Land Rover, or JLR, has confirmed a sophisticated cyberattack disrupted its global operations, beginning around September 2, 2025. The incident forced a complete shutdown of IT systems and halted vehicle production worldwide, including key UK plants like Halewood, with employees instructed not to report to work. JLR initially stated it found no evidence of customer data theft. However, the company later acknowledged that some data was affected and, as a result, has notified relevant regulators. Production remains paused at least until September 24, 2025. Industry estimates suggest the daily financial strain on JLR could be around £5 million, and some unconfirmed reports indicate the company may have temporarily lost track of up to 40,000 vehicles during the disruption. Speculation also exists that the cyberattack might have primarily targeted JLR's operational technology systems rather than just its data networks. If confirmed, this would signal a significant and worrying trend for industrial cybersecurity, potentially demanding increased investment across the sector. The ongoing incident underscores the critical digital vulnerabilities within the automotive industry, disrupting global supply chains during a peak sales period. As JLR works with cybersecurity experts and law enforcement in its forensic investigation, observers will be watching closely how quickly operations are restored, how data breach consequences are managed, and if this incident prompts broader industry changes in cyber defenses. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Washington, D.C., former President Donald Trump's renewed global engagement and strategic defense alliances are setting the stage for 2025 foreign relations, prompting a complex recalibration of international dynamics. Confirmed reports indicate Mr. Trump has bolstered military ties with the Philippines. Plans are underway for a joint ammunition manufacturing hub at Subic Bay in 2025, alongside expanded military cooperation. This move, as some analysts suggest, aims to reinforce security in the Indo-Pacific region amid ongoing concerns. Domestically, Mr. Trump's administration previously established the U.S. Space Force and updated missile defense strategies, focusing on new technologies. However, his approach to traditional alliances has garnered mixed reactions. Mr. Trump has consistently criticized NATO, threatening reduced U.S. involvement and demanding increased defense spending from allies. This stance, many observers note, has raised questions among member states about the future of collective defense commitments. Internationally, reactions are varied. Some world leaders are reportedly courting closer relations, while others have openly criticized Mr. Trump's past aggressive trade policies and rhetoric. Speculation exists about whether this renewed international engagement marks a lasting shift in global alliances or a more temporary political positioning. While some reports suggest leaders are strategically courting influence, the sincerity and long-term impact of these overtures remain unconfirmed. Analysts suggest this strategic focus on Indo-Pacific defense and skepticism toward traditional alliances indicates a pivot, aiming to reinforce U.S. dominance in key regions while challenging existing diplomatic frameworks. The evolving bilateral relations, particularly in Asia, and reactions from NATO and European allies will undoubtedly shape geopolitical stability and global power balances in the near term. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Houston, Texas. This week at the Johnson Space Center, NASA unveiled its 24th class of astronaut candidates, selecting 10 individuals from a pool of over 8,000 applicants. According to NASA, this new cohort, featuring 6 women and 4 men, marks a notable shift as it's the agency's first with a female majority. The candidates bring diverse expertise, ranging from geology and biomedical engineering to anesthesiology, and include a former SpaceX launch director. Significantly, one candidate, Anna Menon, boasts prior spaceflight experience from a commercial SpaceX mission in 2024. These 10 individuals will now embark on nearly 2 years of rigorous training, preparing, as NASA claims, for future missions to the International Space Station, the Moon as part of the Artemis program, and eventually Mars. While not slated for the immediate Artemis 3 lunar landing, this class is positioned, according to the agency, to play pivotal roles in establishing a sustained lunar presence and advancing human exploration objectives for Mars. The selection is widely interpreted as reflecting NASA's evolving focus on increased diversity and the deeper integration of commercial space partnerships. For Houston, the announcement reaffirms its long-standing role as the operational hub for U.S. human spaceflight. However, the path forward is not without discussion. Some observers point to potential challenges in preparing such an interdisciplinary group for deep space missions. Reports suggest internal debates within NASA regarding how best to integrate commercial astronaut experience into traditional training protocols and roles. While NASA maintains this selection is vital for its ambitions, questions also persist regarding the readiness of all candidates for the unique demands of Mars exploration, and whether any of this class will, in fact, be among the first humans to set foot on the Red Planet, a claim that remains purely speculative. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. United States. Former President Donald Trump recently reignited public debate surrounding autism spectrum disorder, making several controversial claims in September 2025. Trump publicly linked what he termed the autism epidemic to the common pain reliever acetaminophen, widely known as Tylenol. He announced new federal initiatives aimed at addressing autism, noting the involvement of Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Beyond this, Trump also claimed that Cuba exhibits remarkably low autism rates, attributing this to factors within its health policies. However, these assertions have sparked a mixed response. Medical experts widely assert that the observed increase in U.S. autism diagnosis is primarily due to expanded awareness and evolving diagnostic criteria, rather than a newly identified biological cause. While the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services claims to be supporting efforts investigating acetaminophen's role, scientific consensus on a conclusive link remains unestablished, and skepticism persists among many researchers. Concerning Cuba, Trump's claims of significantly lower autism rates tied to its health policies remain unverified and speculative, lacking independent data. Reports from various outlets, including NBC News and Al Jazeera, highlight this blend of government action and critical analysis of Trump's statements. This discourse underscores the ongoing challenge of separating politically framed public health statements from scientifically verified facts, emphasizing the need for peer-reviewed studies and transparent reporting to inform public opinion. Sasha for Bordee Lab TV. Seattle, Washington, USA. Amazon is currently facing a landmark trial here, brought by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, over allegations of deceptive practices surrounding its Amazon Prime subscription service. The FTC claims Amazon used